Welcome back to our channel. I'm so happy to be filming again. I'm filming at my home without no ducks because you guys saw that previous video of us filming at the park and it's not what we expected. Or if you guys haven't seen that video, make sure you click on the link I'm gonna put in the description box below. That way you guys can click on that video. Me and Mary did a yoga challenge, so that was pretty interesting. But today I brought you a story time, and this story time is going to be about the time that I went to Mexico for my birthday. And this was when I was turning 18. I'm 20 now, so it was 2 years ago. So we bought our tickets, went to Mexico, and my sister and I were born. We were born in Guadalajara, Jalisco. We were there for probably, by this time we were probably there already for, I can say 3 weeks, because we stayed there for 2 months. So can you imagine? And one of my aunts has, well, it's like, how can I explain it? So my aunt's mom, which is also my aunt, can't explain it, but her mom, her family is in a small town a few hours away from Guadalajara, and this town is called Nochislan. She had told us that there was going to be like this party, the celebration that they say it's called El Día de los Inocentes, and basically it's a huge party that they throw in this huge garden, and they have banda, they have mariachi, they have all these grupos, just like live music. And she's like, do you ladies want to go? Like, you guys want to experience? Like, I want you guys to go so you guys can see, like, even though you guys are in the city, you guys are in Mexico, like, people from the town are different. We were like, yeah, like, definitely, like, we're gonna be here for 2 months, like, might as well, you know, get to experience everything that we can, you know. We were like, hey mom, like, do you mind if we told my mom, because she traveled with us, so it was just me, my mom, and my sister. We told my mom, we were like, hey, like, do you mind if we go? And I kind of felt bad because I was like, we're with my mom, you know, like, it's our vacation with her, like, I don't want to leave her behind. But I mean, like, she's with, like, she has a lot of family in Mexico we were staying at, so I didn't feel that bad. And she said she didn't want to go, so I was like, you know what, like, if she doesn't want to go, we're not gonna pressure her, and it could be a little fun, you know, could probably drink and she will know, whatever, do some little adventures. But you guys always know things are different when your parents are around, like, you know. My aunt was like, we're gonna take the bus. So, like, she literally told us from one day to the next day. We left Friday, the next Friday in the morning, and the next morning we left early. The bus ride was probably like 4 hours. I remember getting off that bus because their family picked us up. I remember getting off that bus and seeing everyone, and I was just like feeling so shitty. I mean, my sister were like wearing hoodies, and we had a bun, and I had no makeup on. And, like, you know what, like, as soon as we get to where we're gonna be staying at, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna, you know, doll up and everything, because I felt like crap. So we got there Friday, like, in the evening. There was gonna be like a small party at the same place where the bigger party was gonna be at. So we were gonna get ready for that, and then the big party was gonna be this Saturday, which was the day after. So we go to the place we were gonna stay at. Beautiful place. It's my aunt's house. That's weird. Like, my aunt and a lot of my cousins, my girl cousins, and it was just like all of us, you know. It was like a big ball of us that came all together. So we ate, we played some games at their house, we were having a lot of fun. We walked around the town, and then we ended up coming back to get ready for the party that was gonna be at night. So I didn't really pack a lot of stuff, guys. Like, I wasn't really prepared. I mean, my sister didn't really pack a lot of stuff compared to all these girls. Like, I'm gonna look like crap, but I wasn't that worried about it because I'm telling you, this was the little party before the big party the next day. So I was like, you know what, it's hot, like, it was in the middle of July, I'm gonna throw on some shorts, throw on, I don't remember the shirt that I had. So yeah, we did something really quick and whatever, easy, and we headed out. We get to the place, and it's a huge garden. Like I said from the beginning, there was a lot of bands who are dancing, and there's like a lot of guys just like lined up. That my aunt told us before we got there. She said, when you ladies get there, don't be surprised, don't get shy, because guys will ask you to dance, and it's okay if you say no. So like she said, happened, we get there, and there's like rows and rows of guys, and these guys are beautiful. I've never been to a place where there's so many hot guys in like one whole area. Literally walk into the garden, and like there's like a row, kind of like going in a whole snake, and the girls walk in the middle, and guys would be like, hey, like, do you want to dance, or grab your hand or kiss it or something. and none of the girls act ugly towards it. Everyone's like, oh, like thank you, or some of the girls are into it, other girls are just like no thank you. And like me, I said almost no to everyone because I was just like so shy. Like we just wanted to have a good time, and I didn't really want to dance with anyone yet, at least, because I was just trying to enjoy my family. I was just trying to enjoy the moment. You know, I wanted to drink a little. I mean, I was 18 at the time, and in Mexico, legally over there, 18-year-olds can drink. Second we got there, we started drinking. So the night was really relaxing, and yeah, we just went home. We were just talking about like just planning out like the next day, and just thinking like, oh my god, like it's gonna be the huge party. Like, what are we gonna wear? Yeah, basically the next day came, so we had to go shopping for a dress. So we woke up like super early. Yeah, if I find the pictures, I'll put them somewhere here, and I do not look anything like I do now. I look dark. I had like highlights, and my hair was like probably like this short. It's a little bit longer now. So the night came, guys, and I was thinking, I was like, this night, like I actually do want to dance with a couple guys, or at least one guy. Like, you know, I do want to have a good time, because the next day we were gonna leave back to Guadalajara, where we were originally at. So we get there, and like there's so much people, like so much people. And they had like little spots everywhere where they were selling alcohol, or like just like little stuff that people can eat, like fries, and they had like chips and all these kind of stuff that you can eat. We get there, and the girls want to drink. They're like, you know, we need to get a little alcohol in our system, we need to like hype up, you know. We started drinking. I probably had 2 bucanas, and if you guys know what bucanas are, it's basically like a mixed drink with whiskey and pineapple, whatever. But I knew after those 2 bucanas I was done, like I wasn't gonna drink anymore. So anyway, so like long story short, we're dancing, we're having fun, and I'm just waiting, you know, who's gonna ask me to dance, let me pick, you know, I want to dance with someone cute. A couple guys had asked me to dance, but I was just not feeling their vibes. I'm like, they seem nice, they're saying like, they're asking me to dance nicely and everything, but I just wasn't feeling out. And we were probably there for about 2 hours by now, and then I just start feeling like I'm not gonna find anyone to dance with. Stand here, I'm just gonna stand and look at the girls, have fun. I just want to sit down because my feet started hurting so bad, and there was like a couple benches on the side where everybody was dancing. I told one of my cousins, I'm like, hey, like I'm gonna sit down for a little bit because my heels are hurting. You guys keep dancing, like I'm gonna be looking at you guys from here. And then one of my other cousins was like, yeah, I'll follow you too because my heels are hurting. So we're walking to the bench, and like literally like the second I sit down, like this is like literally what I did, like sit down, like I literally sat down. And I don't know what I did, because I remember I turned this way, and I guess like I don't know if I was stretching or what, but I remember what I did. I remember that I moved this way, and like I kind of started moving my body this way, and when I moved like that, like somebody like they caught my hand, and like the second I moved towards this side, looked up, it was just like this amazing looking guy. He had perfect chiseled features. He had dark hair, dark little beard. He was wearing like a dark navy blue dress shirt and like some jeans, and he was wearing like some square boots, and he had this hat on. He was just like perfect. He was like the perfect 10. I'm still looking at him. He's the one that speaks first because I was obviously frozen, and he's like, do you want to dance? And he said in Spanish. Obviously everyone speaks in Spanish over there, so he was like, quieres bailar? And I was like, and then my cousin, she's on the side because she's sitting next to me, and she's like, yeah, like go, and she's pushing me. I'm like, okay. So he takes me to the dance floor, and he took me to one of the banda, you know, groups. So we were dancing banda, but yeah, we're dancing, and you know, he's asking me questions like any other person would that didn't know another. He's whispering in my ear and just kind of asking me like, where are you from, like what's your name, like how old are you, blah blah blah. But I can tell you guys how old he was. He was older than me. Like I said, at the time I was 18. I had just turned 18 literally, and this guy was 24, so that's a big difference. I didn't tell him I was 18. I told him I was 21 because I felt embarrassed, because he did look, I knew from the moment I saw him, I knew this guy was no close to 20, no close to 18. He was, if anything, like 23, 22. It ended up being 24. It didn't matter to me because I was like, it's not like I'm gonna go out with the guy, like it's not like I'm gonna marry the guy, like I'm just getting to know him, we're just having a good time, you know, whatever. We were just dancing and everything was cool. We were just like having fun. Like, the thing about towns is that everyone knows each other. So like all the people that are there know the people that already live there. Like, they see you, they know originally from there or not, you know, like they know if you're out of town. So just kind of keep that in mind. So we were dancing. I didn't feel like dancing with anyone else, and we were just vibing like so well. Out of nowhere, like, I just kind of like take a moment to just like look around while we're dancing, and I just start catching like several guys just kind of like stare at us. And it wasn't even that kind of stare where they're just like a stare, like a normal stare, like, oh, like, you know, like they're dancing. No, it was just a different stare, like a shock stare. And at the moment I was just thinking like, oh my god, like they're obviously staring because this guy's like amazingly hot, you know, like girls are probably jealous, guys are even jealous too. And he had told me when we were talking that he was from there, that he's from there. So I'm just like, okay, you know, not trying to pay so much attention to that. And the night keeps going, and we're just like kind of just there, like we were dancing and then we were not, like we were just kind of standing there or talking, or all of us are talking. He's meeting my aunts and everything like that. I start just kind of slowly start feeling like a weird feeling, like, you know, those feelings where you're just thinking like something might happen. I started kind of feeling that in my gut. And so then at some point, I guess like he had finished his beer, and he was not drunk, like, at all. To me at least, he didn't feel like he was drunk at all, like he was just acting normal. At some point he got thirsty, so he said, hey, like, do you want to go with me to get a drink, like to get a drink for me, like I know you don't want a drink, but I want to get another beer because I just finished mine. And I quickly answered yes, because there was little places everywhere, where they were selling drinks. So I didn't feel like scared, because I was like, you're not gonna take me like somewhere far to get a drink, you know. There's little places everywhere, like literally you can walk really close and there's a different spot to buy like a beer. I tell one of my cousins like, hey, like I'm gonna go with him, like I'm gonna go get something to drink, like he wants to get something to drink. And we're walking to one of the stations where they're selling drinks, and he asked for, I think he had asked for a Modelo or those Ickies. I'm not sure what drink he asked for, but I remember that they didn't have it. And we went to the little station next to it and they didn't have it either, because like there was a lot of people, so a lot of people were drinking. So I guess they were like selling out like really fast. So we had already asked like at 2 stations and they didn't have anything anymore. And so he says, there's a bar like across the street, let's go and like we can get a beer from there. And like when he said that, I was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. He's like, no, like don't worry, like I'm not gonna do anything too, like it's totally cool, like if you don't want to go with me, like it's fine, I can take you back, you know, whatever. And so I was like, you know what, like it's gonna be okay, like don't freak out, like everyone knows each other here, like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be fine. And so I walked the street, like entrance, there's like a group of guys on both sides. And when we're walking in, immediately, like before we walk in, there's this guy that yells out, make sure you don't hit this one. Like I heard it so clearly, it was the clearest thing, clear like water. He said, don't hit this one. And he was looking at the guy I'm with. And so I look at him and he kind of like looks down, looks at me, and looks at the guy, and he says, I wouldn't hit her, and like giggles. Like I'm just like, what? Immediately, like the bad feeling that I started feeling started balling up even more. And then we just kind of walk in, he asks for his beer, and I'm just kind of like quiet like the whole time. I'm just kind of like, I just kind of want to go back to the place where we're staying at, like just kind of want to go sleep already. And I'm like, I just kind of want to go, like I'm starting to feel like really weird. And so we're there, sitting there, and then waiting for his drink. He gets his drink and he's like, hey, let's sit back a little bit, like let's talk, because there's a lot of noise over there, let's just sit here and like talk and like get to know each other more. And I'm like, no, you know what, like I'm really tired, my feet hurt, like I'm exhausted, like just kind of want to go back, they're gonna be looking for me, I want to go back. And he looks at me, he's like, okay, we can go back. Walk back, everything's cool, I see all my aunts still dancing, everyone's still having a time. And so I look at the nearest bench close to them and I sit there and I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna sit, like I'm exhausted, like my feet hurt. And so he says, no, like don't sit down, like let's go dance, I want to go dance. And I look at him and I'm like, no, like I really don't want to dance anymore, like I'm really tired. And so after I said that, immediately like his attitude changed. He says, oh, you don't want to dance anymore? And I'm like, no, like I want to thank you for the good time, like super cool if you want to go dance with someone else, like thank you for the good time, like I had a good time, I'm gonna call it a night, like I'm good here. And he's like, okay. okay, that's cool. And so he gets up, because he was sitting next to me, he gets up and like leaves. Didn't say nothing, didn't say thank you, he didn't say okay, have a good night, it was nice meeting you, he didn't even ask for my number, nothing. He just gets up and leaves. And I'm like just sitting there like thinking like, and I'm thinking that was really rude. Like all the guys there are pretty nice, like, and I'm like, you know what, whatever, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna leave, I'm not gonna ever see him. Like I'm just sitting there looking at my cousins, having a good time, I'm Snapchatting them, I'm just like on my phone. I end up looking around and there he is, the guy, just staring at me, like literally just staring at me like this. It just felt like so awkward, so I ended up like looking at him and like just kind of like waving at him, just to like kind of like be nice and be like, hey, like I can see you again, haha, you're there, I'm here, huh, you haven't left. And he just does this, the meanest, most creepiest stare ever, like if I did something super duper wrong to him. So I'm like, okay, like I don't know what's wrong with him, like I'm just gonna mind my own business, like he's over there, I'm right here. One of my aunts ends up walking towards me and she's like, hey, are you okay, like where's your boyfriend? Because she was just kidding. She's like, where's the cute guy, where's the cute guy? And so I'm looking at my phone and I'm kind of like looking at her and I'm like, don't make it obvious, but he's staring at me. He's like right kind of behind me. She's like, what's wrong with him? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, do you want to leave? And I'm like, no, like I don't want to ruin the girl's time, like it's totally fine, I'll wait for you guys to finish. And she's like, okay, we're here, just don't go anywhere, you know. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll be here or whatever. After she walks away, this guy like comes and he's like, hey, I've been looking at you and like you're really pretty, whatever, like I just wanna see if you want to dance. And then I'm like, no, I'm actually sitting here because I'm like exhausted, like thank you for asking me to dance, but I'm okay. And he's like, oh, okay, like yeah, no worries, can I sit next to you though, like I'm kind of feeling tired too. And yeah, you can sit with me. He's just sitting next to me, he's just asking me like, hey, like how do you like it, like I can tell you're not from here, like how do you like it, like how's everything going for you? And I'm like, yeah, cool, like. And then like out of the freaking nowhere, I feel like a really heavy, beefy, thick hand, cold hand by the way, holds onto my freaking shoulder like so tightly. And I look to the side and it's, you know, creepy guy that I was dancing with that turned out to be creepy. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean, what am I doing? He's like, what are you doing talking to other guys? And he's like, I'm your boyfriend. And so homeboy over here, you know, the guy that was sitting next to me, he's like, whoa, I don't want any problems, like I didn't know you had a boyfriend. I'm like, whoa, wait, that's not my boyfriend. It's not my boyfriend, I barely know him. And he's like, what do you mean I'm not your boyfriend? I'm your boyfriend. And I'm like, no, you're not. The guy next to me, he's like, you know what, I don't want any problems, like bye, like I'm leaving. He leaves. And so I get up and I'm already kind of pissed, I'm kind of creeped out, I'm kind of mad. So I grab this guy's hand and like kind of throw it to the side and I'm like, hey, like what the hell is wrong with you? I'm not your girlfriend. And he's like, you don't do that. Like in front of everybody, kind of trying to yell at me. He's like, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't talk to other guys when you're going out with me. I'm like, first of all, I'm not your girlfriend. I don't know who you're confusing me with. Like in my head, I'm like, are you on something? I'm not your girlfriend. Like we just danced. And he just started to be so loud. He's like, you don't do that, like that's not what you do, blah blah blah. So he just kept repeating the same thing over and over. And everybody that was around us start like looking at it. So my aunts start approaching me, and so do my cousins and my sister. And they're like, hey, like what's going on, like what's going on? Like the guys that were dancing with my cousins, they're like, hey, like what's going on, like what's your problem, blah blah blah, like why are you yelling at her? And then he just started going like psycho and started saying, no, like nobody get into this, like this is our relationship, this is my girlfriend, like nobody has to get into this, like this is our situation, like nobody has to be caring about this. He ends up like grabbing my hand, and this whole time he's screaming, he's like grabbing my hand, he's like, she's coming with me, like she's coming with me, like we have to talk about this. And one of my aunts is like, no, you're not doing that, like you need to calm the fuck down. Like she's like, I don't know what the hell you drank, I don't know what you're on, you need to stop. Immediately, like all the guys that were dancing with all my cousins and all my aunts and everything, like they started calling him by his name, because like I said, everyone knows each other from there. Like if you live there, everyone knows who you are. They're calling him by his name, and they started calling by his name, and then they were like, hey, like, let's say his name was what we would call him, Jason, I guess, Jason, even though that's not like a Mexican name, but let's say Jason. They were like, Jason, like, stop, like, what are you doing, dude, like, what the hell is wrong with you? And he just kept like screaming, like I keep saying, like, he just kept screaming, saying like, this is my girlfriend, like, we're gonna talk about this, but still holding on to my hand. And so one of the guys, I don't even know who he was dancing with or what, I just know he was with the group with my cousins. He comes and he grabs his hand, like, throws it away from me, you know, like, grabs me, like, puts me to the side with all my family members, all my cousins, my sisters, and my aunt. And he kind of like pushes him to the side. He's like, hey dude, like, you're gonna calm down, like, you need to chill, like, you're not okay, this is not your girlfriend. And like, Jason is going, like, he's just going crazy. He's like, no, like, you guys need to leave her alone, like, this is my girlfriend, like, she's gonna go home with me. And I'm like freaking out, like, I'm shaking, I'm fucking like shitting my pants. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm just like so scared. Like, I'm just kind of huddled up over here with my family members, and all the guys were just kind of surrounding him, like. And then I just kind of start feeling like somebody tapping me to the side, and while all of this is going on, and I turn around, and it was just like a girl, like a random girl, and she says, I don't know how you were dancing with him, like, I don't know how you were with him this whole time. And I'm like, I know, like, he's totally crazy, right? Like, she's like, girl, he's just got out of jail. And I'm like, and she's like, yeah, he's not okay. His previous girlfriend that he had sent him to jail because he's crazy. He would hit her. And so that's why, like, if you saw anyone staring at you, is that because, like, we know he's crazy, like, we know he just got out of jail, we know he's not okay. All the girls stay away from him because he's crazy. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not from here, I don't know him, like, I didn't know he was crazy, I didn't know he's like that, you know, like, I'm just like freaking out, like, I'm just like, dude, like, what the hell did I get myself into? I start telling my aunt, like, I want to go, like, I just want to leave, like, I'm scared, like, I want to leave. And then she's like, yeah, Mija, like, we're gonna go. So we start walking away. All the guys are just kind of holding him, and he starts noticing that we're walking away. He's going crazy. He's like, you're not leaving, like, you're gonna stay here with me. Like, literally try to throw himself over all those guys that were like holding him back, and they kept saying, Jason, like, stop, like, she doesn't want you, like, I just wanted to freaking fly out of there for real. And so my aunt's like, just don't look back, like, everything's cool, like, just don't look back. And like I said, if you guys remember from the beginning, we did not get a ride there. People don't really use cars over there, it's a small town. So we had to walk home. And we were walking, my aunts just kept saying, like, don't look back, like, he's not there, like, don't look back, like, they're holding him back, like, you're fine, we're good, we're almost gonna get there, fine. And this whole time we're walking, I'm just so fucking paranoid, thinking, like, this guy's gonna freaking get a gun because he's psychotic, like, he obviously went to jail, like, he's freaking psychotic, like, he thinks we're in a freaking relationship or something, like, he's gonna come and freaking shoot us, like, I'm just thinking, like, he's freaking kill us. And it's just us, like, a bunch of girls just walking alone in the dark. Because at this time it's already like freaking 4 in the morning, so it's like super late. And I start hearing him yell my names, crying so bad, and I'm just trying to like walk as fast as I can, and the girls are like, don't look back, like, everything's gonna be fine. And I'm like, no, he's gonna follow us, he's gonna know where we're staying at, he's gonna freaking like come to the house and do something to us. And I'm just thinking, like, the worst thing ever, like, no, we have to lose him, he can't know where we're staying at, he can't know. And so my aunt's like, you know what, okay, we're gonna lose him. And this guy's just walking like really fast behind us, but he's not really close to us. If anything, he's pretty far, not as far, but he's able to see us. So I don't know how we did it, but we ended up walking to a different side of the street where it was like not the street we were supposed to walk towards the house. So we ended up walking to the side of the street to another different kind of street, kind of like of a circle thing. So we were walking this way, he was walking behind us. We kind of made a turn and like try to do that curve as fast as we could. And so by the time we were already here, he was doing this. We ran freaking straight as much as we could. We ran, and like we hit another street. So we freaking lost him, and we ended up getting home. Went inside the house, we closed the doors. I felt like the biggest relief I could ever feel in my entire life. I felt safe. I was like, thank you, Jesus Christ, we're home, we're fine. Like the next morning we were leaving, the bus was leaving like super early. We were leaving like at 7 in the morning. So I was like, this is gonna be over with, like I'm never gonna see him again. Like, the next day came, we woke up early, we left. Guys, that all things are not always as good as they seem, like honestly. Knowledge or kind of like observe what's around you. Don't always be caught up in the moment, like always look around your surroundings and If a person's acting weird, like, acknowledge it. Don't put any other excuse for it. Like, just always be safe. Like, just take care. Like, whenever you go out, always look out your surroundings. Whenever you're dancing, you're being with someone, you're meeting someone, don't trust them. Like, they're completely strangers, you don't know them, so you always have to take precaution. But yeah, guys, that was my freaking crazy story. The time I was dancing with the freaking criminal. Okay, guys, so that wraps up the story. I hope I didn't make it so long for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video before you leave. That would mean the world to us. And I will see you back in our next video. Bye.